What if I told you the deadliest predator in Boruto right now? It ain't Jura, it ain't Kawaki, it isn't even Boruto himself. Instead, it's something far more insidious. A creature that is born from obsession. A monster that is molded by love, twisted into a venom. And its single target is the lovely beauty Ada. This is Mamushi, the Shinju born from Bug's chakra, from Bug's relentless, all-consuming fixation on Ada. Like the venomous pit viper that it is named after, Mamushi doesn't just attack. Instead, he's stalking, he's waiting, and he's waiting to strike when his prey is at its most vulnerable. Kashin Koji, he warned Ada that this threat is beginning to already move towards her. And if Konoha doesn't act, Ada, the Sharingan wielder, the singularity of fate herself, could be swallowed whole. But how exactly is Mamushi going to be able to hunt Ada in that fortress known as Konoha? Why does her protection matter more than ever before? And what plans could Konoha or Kashin Koji already have in motion to ensure that she's not consumed? Join me in today's newest Naruto Explained video where your OBC, your original Boruto chief, dives into why you should absolutely be worried about how Ada will be protected from Mamushi, what Kashin Koji's backup plan might be, and how this whole situation mirrors a lot of cultural stuff in Japan. Also, if you haven't already, make sure to check out my new videos on my Anime Explained channel, including the 2 new Don videos and the Sakamoto Days video on that channel, or over on my Everything One Piece Explained channel. We have a new video that discusses Big Mom's Devil Fruit. Those will be linked in the description box if you are curious about them. Now, let's jump right into the video and break it all down. So, why is Ada getting protected so crucial, so vital? Ada is not just another ally to Boruto in Boruto 2 Blue Vortex. She is arguably a linchpin to destiny itself. Her Sharingan makes her the only being capable of perceiving the world across space and time itself. She can see everything in the present right now, and she can see things in the past up to the moment of her birth 19 years ago. Her Sharingan makes her the only being possible to do that. She is a singularity of fate for that reason, a being so tied to the flow of destiny that altering her position could collapse the timeline. Hence why Kashin Koji said, hey Boruto, you gotta follow instructions, fam. Boruto like, hey, fuck that shit. I'm gonna do what I want to do. I'm gonna do my own thing. No Miles Morales. And then you got Ada, who is playing along for now. And beyond that, you have her charm ability, which still holds sway over anyone that comes into contact with her that's not no Susuke or blood relative, which that is a byproduct of omnipotence. I call it a charm ability, but it's really just her version of omnipotence. Now, if Ada were consumed by Mamushi, there are 2 disasters that could follow. Konoha loses its only window into the true flow of events. And also, Boruto and Kashin Koji, they rely on Ada's insight. She is their surveillance camera. Mamushi could potentially gain direct access to her fate-defining role because we don't know what happens when someone consumes the target of their desire. He could also further twist Bug's obsession into a monstrous drive to control the world through Ada. It could also just be that it makes another Shinju. A Shinju version of Ada would be deadly. Her survival isn't just about protecting a person, it's about protecting the very balance of the shinobi world's future. Now, when you get into Mamushi, this is where it gets very interesting. So, Mamushi's hunting habits, we can actually take lessons from nature here. So, the Japanese Mamushi, the pit viper, is one of the most venomous snakes in Japan and just in the entire world. Here's how it hunts. It does not chase prey recklessly. It lies in wait. It is camouflage, and most importantly, it is patient. When a victim wanders close, it strikes with a venom that is designed to paralyze and then consume them slowly. Its hunting relies on obsession, which is why he's called Mamushi, obsession with the target scent. It hones in even when the prey thinks that it is safe. Once it has your scent, you're dead. Now imagine Bug's obsession with Ada, magnified into the instincts of a Shinju, with the behavioral patterns of a Mamushi snake. Mamushi does not need to break into Konoha in broad daylight. Instead, he just needs to lurk, he needs to track, and wait until Ada steps into vulnerability. Like for instance, when she stepped into that restaurant that she visited with Daemon. Like for instance, if he can actually do something to her when she's using the Sharingan. Because it is implied that he knew exactly where she was. He walked right up to her, he was speaking to her. Ada scared shitless at this point, We don't know whether or not he can actually damage her when she's using that Senrigan. It's not impossible. There's a lot about the Shinja we don't know. Ada being consumed is still a threat. Her being confined to her home or limited areas within the village, it's not going to stop Mamushi. It just makes her a cornered prey animal. In other words, Ada is potentially a rabbit in a snake's den and she doesn't realize it. Then when you get into the Shinto and Buddhist parallels, they're there as well. So this isn't just biology, it's mythology. That kind of rhymes. So in Buddhism, obsession or Trishna, which is called craving, it is one of the 3 poisons that trap beings in a cycle of suffering. Bug's obsession with Ada, it is reborn as Mamushi, a creature of pure craving. To be the object of obsession is just as dangerous as being the one that is obsessed, because it reduces Ada to an object, a possession to be devoured. And in Shinto, Ada, as I've said numerous times on multiple videos, she does mirror Amaterasu, the sun goddess, in a lot of ways. Amaterasu was once forced into hiding by the actions of others, and the world fell into darkness without her. Similarly, Ada, if she's taken, Konoha does lose one of its guiding lights, the one who can see through fate itself, because she can see the past up to the moment of birth as well as everything in the present. Mamushi, in this lens, is a serpent of darkness trying to devour the light of Amaterasu. This clash, it is an archetype, a eternal battle between light and shadow, between craving and clarity. But all is not lost. Don't think that this is a doom and gloom video. So you also have potential of Kashin Koji's hidden interference. Kashin Koji's no fool. He knows Ada's importance better than anyone. He even told her, like, hey girl, look, I'm telling all this stuff to Boruto, so I know you're listening right now. You better not say a word. Basically, Kashin Koji might have already taken some precautions. That is why, in my opinion, he has a toad that is always stationed on her. What's the hidden implication, might be asking? That toad's for more than surveillance. That toad is more than just Kashin Koji being able to speak to Ada. It's also something that can be used as a reverse summoning anchor. If Mamushi is closing in, if all hope seems lost, Kashin Koji can pull Ada out of danger instantly, removing her from Konoha before she can get consumed. The same way that Koji was able to save Boruto from all those shinobi hunting him down. It also suggests that Koji sees Ada less as a comrade and more like a strategic keystone, which that's in character for Kashin Koji, cold calculated logic. The Senrigan and her singularity of fate cannot be allowed to fall. He may not reveal this plan openly, but the toad's presence, in my opinion, proves he's already accounted for the worst possible scenario even before Boruto changed the timeline. So what could Konoha do beyond just putting Mitsuki and Daemon there to protect her? After all, we've never seen Daemon's full power, so why should we be worried? Well, it's because of the fact that we've never seen Daemon's full power. It means that somebody's going to force him to use it. And when you hype a character up like Daemon, which, go ahead and clip this out, the same way that I was warning people that when Code got his limiters removed and he was beyond Jigen in power, that he was going to be underwhelming and he was going to get his ass kicked because it was going to be a benchmark. Daemon's going to be forced to use full power. And when that fight eventually happens, Daemon's probably going to lose. And when that happens, I don't want to see any Daemon disrespect. It just means that, you guessed it, the power scales have gone up. The whole point is to hype him up so that he can be broken down. And Mitsuki and Daemon being there alone is not going to be enough. Konoha, in my opinion, should consider a multi-layered defense strategy. Barrier seals around a residence, but they might be cruel because they did do that with Kushina, but third Hokage was on to something. The other thing is you might have to consider rotating shinobi squads, but then you have Ada Simp, so that is an issue there. But this is where you do need to start seeing some of the tactics of Shikamaru come into play. You also have to consider the possibility of taking a page out of witness protection programs. Ada being shifted between safe houses to prevent Mamushi from fixating on a single location. Tactical counter ambushes. Instead of always trying to defend Ada, Konoha could use her as bait in a controlled situation with Boruto or Koji or Kawaki lying in wait to destroy Mamushi when he appears, though that would require them working with Boruto. However, again, I do think that Kashin Koji more likely than not already has a plan in place to save her. Ada as a target of obsession. This is brilliant writing in my opinion, because there's a reason why Ikimoto made Mamushi's entire existence revolve around Ada. Ada as a character is both adored and cursed by obsession. Bug adored her to the point of madness. It is manifested into Mamushi. Boruto and Kawaki, they're caught as being potential love interests for Ada because they're two people that are not affected by her ability. Even Daemon, though he is loving and he is unaffected by her ability, he still clings onto her possessively because of that sibling love. By making Mamushi her predator, the narrative externalizes this theme. Love for Ada, she isn't just love, she is being hunted by love that has gone rotten. In Buddhism, being the target of obsession is dangerous because it turns the self into an idol, a mirror for someone else's craving. And in Shinto terms, this makes her even closer to Amaterasu, who drew both light as well as jealousy itself, depending on which story you go into. Her survival then, it isn't just tactical, it's thematic. Protecting Ada means protecting the embodiment of light against obsession's darkness. Mamushi is more than a monster, he is obsession incarnated, and Ada is the perfect prey for this reason. Konoha must treat her protection as a priority, on par with safeguarding the Hokage, because if Ada falls, it isn't just one girl being consumed, it is the light of fate itself being swallowed by the serpent in the shadows. So the real question is, will Konoha be ready when Mamushi strikes, or will Ada, like Amaterasu, be forced into the darkness, dragging potentially the shinobi world into it if she falls? Obviously, if you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing, clicking here on the left to check out more Naruto Explained videos, or click here on the right to check out videos from my other two anime channels if you want to hear me talk about non-Naruto content. And also, don't forget to hit that hype button, because hitting that button does do wonders for the channel and the algorithm.